what do you think, practically speaking, for INEC on one hand and for Nigerian voters, the implication of this reordering?
Thank you for having me on the show. First of all, I think there are two issues. One is the political issue, which I think we have already heard about. And then the other one is the issue of the independence of INEC, which is where I am more concerned. I am of the opinion that INEC last year, about a year ago, came out and informed Nigeria that it would be having elections in 2019. The first set of elections will be on the 16th of February, and the second set on the 2nd of March, the state elections. And this was announcement made over 1 year ago. Just about a few weeks ago, INEC also came out with an official timetable sometime in January to officially give the timetable of activities for the 2019 elections. Now, what I am most bothered about is that INEC, when they came out with this timetable in January, and also when they came out with the proposed dates, or not even proposed dates, with the dates last year, February, I think that the National Assembly should have engaged INEC at that time in a private discussion, because there is, after all, a Senate committee on INEC, and there is also a House committee on electoral matters. So it's my opinion that INEC, the Senate and the House of Reps should have, through their committees, engaged INEC to discuss about the issues of dates a year ago when INEC first came up with the suggestions of the current dates. And at this point, when INEC has not only released the dates last year, but has come out with the timetable and has prepared the minds of Nigerians, for the National Assembly to come at this point and reorder it is unacceptable for us in the civil society. It's also unacceptable for most voters. Not because there are no genuine reasons for the National Assembly to do so, or politically it's not, one cannot say there are no political reasons for that, but because primarily it is infringing on the, in my opinion and in the opinions of many of us, it's infringing on the rights of INEC. And what is basically telling Nigerians is that INEC can do one thing, and then the National Assembly can do another thing. And this is unacceptable.
Mr. Ajijola, because of the issues of the voter registration, if you can quickly switch gears on that one now, there are a few information that you need to quickly put us through. If you can do that within the next few minutes, so that Nigerians can have a sense of what the data and the statistics are telling us about voter registration and what they need to do ahead of 2019. INEC says it has registered about 4 million Nigerians. What do you make of the INEC CVR currently going on now?
Well, in my opinion, I think we are heading to a national crisis in this CVR registration. And I'm not being alarmist, I'm being very sincere. INEC started the registration process, the continuous registration process, on the 27th of April 2017. And imagine that in the past 1 year, just till now, INEC has only been able to register about 4 million Nigerians. Let us flash back to 2014, when the registration exercise was done in a concentrated approach. INEC was able to register over 11 million voters in a very short period of time. Now, only 4 million have been registered after 1 year, almost a year, about 10 months of registration. We only have about 7 months at most for registration before the window has to close, because there is a statutory 60 days that must be observed before the elections can, before you can have elections, and before you can, you must close the register before the elections, 60 days before the elections. So we are now in a very serious situation where we have millions of Nigerians that I am worried about not being able to, that may not be able to be registered at the current pace. Because even if we are to look at 4 million registered in the past 1 year, and assume that in the next 6 months or 7 months we can register another maybe 4 or 5 million, that takes us to 9 million, which is less than what we had in 2014. Now, data available tells us that we have at least 100 million eligible Nigerians, and we only have 74 million on the register. So we have at least 25, 26 million Nigerians who could be registered. And in my opinion, INEC must create a robust system to ensure that these 25 million people, if they choose to come out to register, can register. Because of some of the security challenges we've had in the country, we are currently having probably the most greatest interest in the history of our nation in terms of getting registered and getting PVCs. Churches are saying it, mosques are saying it, traditional institutions are saying it, and people are spending 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. People don't know where to register, and I think these issues must be addressed. I personally think that, first of all, INEC has to provide a new equipment to do the registration. Already we have this...
Mr. Ajijola, before we close now, and I mean close this conversation, that is, just in 30 seconds before we go on that break, put us through the data of the fresh registration, the PVC distribution and replacement request, and what is the implication of this for INEC. Just in 30 seconds, please.
Well, okay, as you know, sometimes if you lose your PVC, you can request for it to be replaced. And also if you purchase, if you want to transfer, so for example, you're in Lagos and you are now living in Kano, you want to now transfer, okay, so you can apply for transfer request. So the data there is just for the phase 1, but as you know, the phase 2 has been completed and we're currently in phase 3. So there is a certain number of people that request to be for both transfer, for fresh registrations, and for replacements. So as it stands now, I don't have the exact figures of what it stands as today, but we do have it in the hundreds of thousands and millions. And it doesn't matter whether it's a fresh registration or replacement. What matters is that the PVC is available for the voter. And as it stands...
Ms. Ajijola, okay, all right. We need to take a break now. Thank you so much, Mr. Ajijola, for your time on the program. But when we come back, Senator Shehu Sani is a member of the APC. He will be telling us about the reconciliation process that he will be headed by Senator Bola Tinubu and what this means for the ruling APC. That's in a moment, everyone. Join us again.